Hey guys, it's Jessica from Audacity, and I am here with Jarratt, aka Mr. Damn himself, host of the It's About Damn Time podcast. But today I have him on the interviewee side.
It feels weird. It feels weird. Yeah, it
Now you
does.
know how
Yeah.
I feel. He has interviewed me a couple of times, and I also feel strange when people are asking me the question. So now you know.
Now I know. Now I know. But we're gonna get through it though. You gonna take it easy on me. I'm good. I'm good. I'm
I
in good hands.
believe in you, but yeah, I hold no punches. But I believe in you. You're gonna do great. And this is a fun experience. There's nothing to be worried about. Kick back and relax. Guys, if you have been following us, this is part of Audacity's annual Black Parade, which is our way of celebrating Black History Month, where we collect all Black content. We interview Black owned business owners and we host all Black writers all month long. And we're Black owned ourselves. So, every day is Black History Month. Okay?
Right, right, right,
And we don't
right.
need permission to celebrate it, Mr. President.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
Okay?
not.
No one asked you anyway. Okay? Oh, God, they're going to come after me for that one.
I love it. I love it. Let them come. Let them come. Let
Protect
them
me at all
come.
costs, guys.
Absolutely.
But that being said, this really is like a prime time for anybody who's in the media space. And now that I've made that joke, I actually do have a little bit of a question about the
Mhm.
podcast. So it's about damn time. It's about damn time podcast covers a little bit of everything. I feel like it covers lifestyle, mental health, entrepreneurship. Is there anything else I'm missing?
Uh no, I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's a whole gambit of different things. I think the one core thing is the fact that um it's just about getting better every day
Yeah.
and taking excuse me, taking those different areas of life and just trying to
Yeah.
get better at it. So maybe today we trying to get better at health, or maybe your mental hadn't been right, so we try to get better at that. Maybe we try to get better at sex. We are talking about all different things that's gonna make you better and make you a overall better person.
So would you argue that it's a slice of life kind of podcast?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
Slice of
I
life?
think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I
So
think
with
so.
everything that's going on, like the media is about to take on a lot of there's gonna be a lot of media to do
Mhm.
with everything that's been going on and what is going to go on. Do you see your podcast potentially leaning into that type of content as well, or do you think you're gonna keep it lifestyle?
You know what? That's been the thing. I've recently just kind of came back doing it after taking a little bit of break, I think, between the election and just the holidays in general. You like everybody was like, yo, I just need some time to reset. I think during that time frame, obviously just being hurt, but also wanting to know what the future holds. Um, I definitely I feel like I definitely have to do it because like as far as who I am as a person, as an individual, the stuff that's happening right now in the world is affecting me. It's affecting my mental. It's affecting my physical. It's affecting
Yeah.
me not being the best me that I can be. So
And
it
you
has
have a
to kind of
daughter
be
as
covered.
well. Like,
Yeah. Don't even start on that. Yeah. So it's
yeah.
it's heavy. Hell, it's only been one. It hadn't even been a whole month
Child, it's
yet.
been 2 weeks.
And
It has
and
been
it
two
feels like it's been three
motherfucking weeks.
years.
It's been
Oh.
2 weeks. And I'm like, now we'll say though, the checks and balances are starting to check and balance so far. A couple of things, these good old federal judges, thanks Biden. He wasn't my
Mm.
favorite, but he installed those judges on our behalf.
Did, yeah.
The checks and balances is checking and balancing slowly but surely.
Yeah.
So, that's the silver line that I keep trying to tell people in general. Like I keep trying to tell people, like, don't panic. That's what they're operating on. They operating on panic. Like
True. True.
that's like the primary mission is panic, fear, exhaustion, fatigue. And I think as people who create media right now, as much as we definitely want to like encourage people to have their justified rage, I think that we can also do a service to our listeners by offering them justified peace in spite of everything that's going on.
No, I think so, for sure, because it's. I think I saw somewhere where it was like, do we really want to get outraged over everything that he's doing? Because it's only
Yeah.
along 4 years if we're doing that,
Yeah.
and
Well, and the guy's a narcissist, so like they thrive on attention. And
exactly.
yeah, so like I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, because some stuff is bad, and then but we're giving it that same energy in reporting,
Giving
then
it
it would
life.
be yeah, and I
Yeah.
like some of the stuff like, yeah, this is what he did, like this is crazy, but maybe the thing that about the Gaza Strip, for example, no, that's something we need to get upset about. Like that needs to have that type
That
of
should
energy.
be, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Because that's a war crime that he's talking about.
yeah,
That would be a war. I mean, the war crime's been happening this whole time, but there's that.
yeah.
Mm. Well, but about your podcast, or not, this is about your podcast, of course, like because
Yeah.
like you're saying, like as media professionals, like we're gonna have to cover some of these things.
Right.
So, I mean, I guess still going back to the original question. So, like the short answer is, yeah, you're gonna talk about it.
Yeah, short answer is I definitely got to talk about it because it's
Yeah,
affecting you. But it's excuse me, it's just trying to figure out to do it in a different way that um that other people are doing it. Like the way you deliver stuff, you are a journalist.
yeah,
I am not at all.
yeah,
So I have to kind of give it from a perspective that's maybe a little bit different as far as like how this is what's going on right now. This is how it's maybe impacting your mental health this way. Here are some ways that we can sit there
yeah,
and do it. But being open to have those conversations and even like as far as like job market is concerned, like the job market is not great. Trust me, ask me how I know. So the job market is not great. So maybe my content might lead to me talking to people who have side hustles, who have created different things where they forge something on themselves, but we're weaving in. Oh, I don't want to say weaving. Oh my God, sorry,
is that
we're
bad?
well, that's what he was saying on the campaign trail, weaving. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
no! Oh no!
So I want to say weaving, but
Oh no!
we are integrating. We are integrating different ways on how we can talk about it, but also to help others as well.
All right, I love it. So, getting to let's go back to the beginning, as Hillary Duff would say. Um, how did It's About Damn Time start? How did we get here?
That is a good question.
Give me the
I
origin story.
the origin story. I think as far as the podcast itself, it's something I want to do for a while. I used to blog a little bit, and in my blog, the damn newsletter, I would just kind of send, you know, it was just basically a way for me to sit there and talk to people without having to be on the phone the entire time, and then they can know what's up with me. So I wouldn't have to say the same story over again if I got a phone call or a text. I'm like, well, you saw the newsletter. But people move past reading their emails like it was the newspaper for during that time frame. So I think the next possible thing was podcasting. I did not really want to do it because, one, I don't like the sound of my voice. I thought I hit this
Really?
start. Yeah, I don't like the sound of my voice at all. No. I think it's a little country drawl. I think it's like, I don't,
That's what makes it nice, though. Yeah, you got a little country golden voice going
yeah,
on here. Like I
maybe
have
maybe
an accent as well.
I am, but see, I like your voice. See, we all we were definitely
More
overcritical of
critical.
ourselves. And so I was just like really hesitant about that. I didn't really know that space per se. Um, what ended up occurring is that I just kind of went for it, but it took a while. It took me seeing the Facebook reminders that I would put out there saying, "Yo, podcast coming soon, y'all. Sorry for the wait." And I'm looking back at it was like 2-3 years back. I was like, "Oh, I gotta do something." So I had a deadline. I said I'm going to do this. Ready, set, go. I didn't. It doesn't matter what it looks like or what it sounds like. I'm gonna make up my own graphic art that looks real crazy, and that's what we're gonna do, and that's what happened, and it has morphed. Like I told you, what the premise of the show is beforehand. The first start of it was I just wanted to have dope conversations with dope people, and that was just me just talking, and I kind of in trying to find my place, trying to find who I am as a person and who I am as a podcaster. I think it was just some discovery there where I'm just like, well,
Mhm.
okay, well, I guess I help people. I guess this is self-improvement. I guess I'm putting myself out there on blast for people to see so they don't feel alone. So they feel like somebody else is also going through it, whether it's dealing with the depression or whether just having parenting issues where you got a kid that's like 600 miles away from you, but you're still trying to be a good dad. Well, all those
Yeah.
things in one. So
Where did the name Damn come from?
the
Everything
name
is damn. It's about damn time. Your radio personality, your podcast personality name was Jarratt. Damn. Like, why damn? The damn
damn
newsletter.
the damn newsletter. Yeah. Damn is funny because I was in college for summer school. And I was I'm a big wrestling fan. I've always been a big wrestling fan since like the 80s. And so one of my friends, almost like one of my mentors in that time frame, she knew that. And she just I guess she had just saw wrestling or something, and she was like randomly like, Jarratt, what's going on, Jarratt? That damn good Butler? And I was like, Jarratt damn Butler. I think I like that. And she so of course she rolled her eyes. So of course I kept doing it because I was being annoying because that's what you do. And as I did it, like, I poured it on. So now Jarratt Damn. Now I'm Mr. Damn himself. Now I'm the whole damn show. So when it came time to name the podcast, I was trying to come up with different names, and I was just like trying to stick into the damn range. But
Yeah.
it actually was a coworker that was like, I think I was going off, kind of like, yeah, I just need to just go ahead and do this. I need to get out of my head. Everything. It's just about. She's like, yeah, it's about damn time you just go ahead and do this podcast. I was like,
Oh, okay.
and shout out to my girl Tanisha because that's who gave me the name, and I ran with it. So
All right then. Well, that's okay. That's an origin story. I didn't see it going that direction. I love it. So, I mean, I think that's really cool though, because that's what your podcast is all about, is like pushing one another to become better. And like
hmm
in her saying that, it pushed you
yeah,
to go ahead and get damn started.
it did, and that's the whole part of everything. Like,
Yeah.
we all feel like we all look at the end result and we're like, okay, this is where I'm trying to get to, but we don't look at the work or the
The
behind the
middle.
scenes work that get to it. And it's
Hmm.
not gonna be overnight. So the thing is just be better, 1% better every day. Like doing
Yeah.
that just builds it in that way. And it's it's not even me just trying to be like that person to inspire. That's a mantra I have to tell myself. Like I beat myself up so freaking much. So like
Hmm.
when it gets to the point where I'm just like, okay, Jarratt, slow down, calm down. You can do this.
Yeah.
Just keep doing this. Just keep doing this. And and it's also about having those conversations with people where you take the time to look back. So yeah, I've been working hard to do this, but now I look back and like, look where I was a year ago, and I had to have that conversation with myself. Look with the podcast. I'm like, okay, you're in year 5. I'm going on year 5 of doing this podcast,
Oh,
and
congratulations.
thank you very much. But so I am like, I could be better. I need to be better, but I won't. If I go back and listen to episode 1, you know what I mean? It's so much better. So
Yeah.
you're just thinking about that
I love
perspective.
that. I
Yeah.
love that. And that's important, especially like because the podcast world is a very noisy market. Some folks would call it saturated. I don't like using that word because I just feel like no matter how true it is, that like it's already like a negative connotation that sets the project up to fail.
hmm
But it sounds like you've really gotten good at like being above the noise of all that. How, for people who are maybe interested in starting a podcast and they're worried like, oh, the market is saturated, or they're worried that like, oh, like I don't want to be one of those podcasts. And you know what I mean when I say one of those, where we all just sit around and talk about who's supposed to pay for dinner, you know?
Yeah, I hate
Like
those.
let's leave those podcasts in 2024. But how do you stay above the noise?
I think it's about finding who you are as a person. And I think first of all, podcast market is not saturated. I know there's a lot of podcasts out there, but the market is not saturated. There, what it is it's a lot of people that's talking about the same thing, and it makes it
Yeah,
feel saturated.
yeah.
But I know people that have a podcast about stitching. I know people that have a podcast about diabetes. Like so you can find whatever works for you and work that. For me, I had to kind of take a look at myself. Like I said, I started out where I just wanted to have conversations, and then excuse me, we all feel like, oh, this conversation I'm having with this person, well, this could be a podcast. Probably not. Probably not because you have to add context to it. You got to add, you got to be entertaining. It's
Hmm.
going to be entertaining to you because y'all know each other and inside jokes.
Right.
So it started out for me thinking, okay, I'm gonna have these dope conversations. It morphed into like, let me think about what I'm good at, and what I am good at is that my phone rings and someone says, Jarratt, I need a inspirational talk about something, and I'm literally pulling stuff out of my ass on like what am I doing? I don't know. Like you think that Jarratt's supposed to have these words, it's gonna end like a 80s sitcom, and you're gonna be like, yeah, now I do feel better, and I don't know. So I just started talking, and then towards 10, 15 minutes in, they were like, you know what, you're right. I'm like, I did it. Yay. And when
And you just
when
being yourself.
and I'm just being myself. But it got to be to the point where people were like, this is what Jarratt does. I'm going to call Jarratt for that. And it made me kind of think like, well, if this is what people see me as, and this is what I'm giving out, maybe I can do it to a higher scale where I'm doing this. So it would just making that
Yeah.
jump from there. So my advice to you is look at what you do. It could be it could be baking. It could be uh buying scented candles, and you know what aroma goes with whatever works for you, do it. But put your personality, your passion, your drive into it, and it's going to be successful.
I love that. Let's see, I have more questions, but so y'all are celebrating y'all's 5 year anniversary over there at the podcast now. And I say
Yeah.
y'all, and I know it's just you, but I'm already manifesting that you're gonna have a team soon.
Thank you.
But
Thank you. Y'all, yeah, we doing it.
you're gonna
Girl,
be a
we doing
team,
it.
okay? So you're coming up on 5 years. Congratulations.
Thank
Where do
you.
you see it in the next 5 years?
Oh, that's something. If I get out of my own way, and that's the big if. If I
Okay,
get out of
it,
my
it's just the
own way,
first step.
yeah, it's definitely admitting it. It's taking it to a level where we're having you know conferences and meetups, and we're inspiring others. Like if there are people that do what I do, but they do it in a different way, and they put a different spin on it, and they encourage it this way, and they do that. And then there are people that take their personal stories and encourage people by being open and sharing. I want to create a network where that's happening, and we're there, and we're inspiring others. Where you just there in a place with good energy, and you
Yeah.
there for like a day or a weekend, and had this conference. It's like, yo, this changed my life. Like I'm like I'm about to go back home, and I'm about to sit there and just I got it. I'm making
All
it
right,
happen.
Tony Robbins.
Yeah, I mean, but I, I think with inspiration, I think is for me, it's weird because a lot of people think that you're supposed to be an expert, and you're supposed to have say the right things. Most times I've been inspired with people's actions. Most times people such as yourself who be grinding and doing, yeah, you're an inspiration.
Me?
Come on now. I've
Wait,
told you that
wait a
behind the
minute.
scenes.
Wait a minute.
You
Me?
you yes, you are an inspiration
Oh,
because you this is your baby. You work hard. You put forth the content. You're not afraid to sit there and challenge what's going out there. And because you do what you do, maybe some days when I'm tired, I'm in bed and I'm like, screw podcasts, I'm done. Maybe I go on Instagram and I look at a video from a Hot Take Tuesday. I'm like, all right, let me get my ass up and start recording. You know what I'm saying? You people are inspired. You never know how someone is inspired by you. And I've had conversations where people tell me, "Well, Jerry, you really changed my life when you did this." And I'm like, I'm barely living. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Not
So
barely living. Not barely living.
I'm barely out here.
I mean, that's a big deal though, that, you can make someone feel that way. And like you said, if you can get out of your own way, imagine like how many other people that you would like inspire and like touch in that fashion.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just had a conversation with. I told you earlier off camera. I just had a conversation with someone who was getting in my behind about about
Hmm.
things and like you've been gifted the gift of time and now you're too talented to be like in the dumps. Like this is what you need to do. And I'm just like, all right, because I had no argument. Like I had no argument. I couldn't be like, well, no, actually, okay, all right.
I
I,
agree. You in the prime of
yeah.
your life, honey. Like you are in your prime. You are in
I
your prime. I
I
was
I
having the same conversation with my therapist today. I was like, I feel like I'm in my prime and I'm not doing enough. She's like, or you could just not be trusting your process enough. Like you're doing things.
you are. I agree with her. I agree with her.
I,
Yeah.
I agree with her. I don't like it, but I agree with her as well. But I agree with you too. Like you're doing stuff. You're killing it. Like everyone's pushing Audacity to do a podcast, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. And like when you say things today, like you're like, no, the market is not saturated, you know. What am I supposed to say today? You say it ain't saturated.
I've been
That's a
waiting because
valid
I'm
excuse.
one of them people that have been pushing. So I've been waiting for this Audacity podcast.
What? Oh yeah, you are one of the people who've been pushing.
I am, yeah.
That is true. I mean, so okay, let's just say let's go out on a limb here and say that I'm a listen to y'all and I'm gonna do this doggone podcast and bring anybody else out there who is interested in creating one and starting one. Um, Tell us about the process of podcasting from concept to publishing, because I think a lot of folks think that you just get on a mic and you talk and then you put it somewhere. And I know that's not it. I know that's not how that works.
It's not it.
What's the
I
real process?
have I I have done some podcasting consultation and production and everything else that I do. And the one things, the few things that I say to people is one, when you have a concept for a podcast, I need you to tell me about 30 episodes. Like right out. Now you don't not necessarily you have it all written out like this. There's 30 topics for an episode. Because if you only like, oh, I'm gonna talk about coffee. I love coffee. So I'm gonna do a podcast about coffee. And all you got is that coffee tastes good, and all you got is that this type of coffee I like and this type of creamer I like. That's only 3 episodes. Is your podcast a limited series, or are you gonna keep going for like a little while?
Oh
So
God.
if you're not passionate enough to have at least 30 topics for it, you might have to tweak it a little bit. And
Yeah.
what I normally have done with my clients in the past is I do like what I call like a 10, 20, 30, where I want to do about um 10 particular content pillars. What could your podcast possibly be about, and where would it fit into as far as the content pillars? So like for me, it's about personal development, self-help, building relationships, mental health. These are some of the pillars that I have. So
Right.
when I have episodes, I go between those pillars. So that's the 10 part. The 20 part is
Hmm.
coming up with a podcast name. Sometimes it's not as easy to come up with that name. Sometimes that name that you think that you like, I like, by next week you're gonna think it's horrible. So you want a name that's gonna stick, that's gonna really tell people what the podcast is about. And then 30 is the episodes. So when we have our first meeting, I just want you to talk. I'm gonna write out everything out, and then I'm gonna type up some stuff and be like, here's some possible things, and then we can work towards that. I think it's very important just to, again, be in where you're passionate about, because podcasting is hard as hell. It is a lot of work and it's tiring. And so if you are halfway okay with it and you don't really necessarily like it, you're gonna quit after about 7 or 8 episodes, which is the norm for like most podcasts. They call it pod fade right around episode 8 because people real only it's only 8 episodes because people realize how difficult it is. They're like, screw that, I'm not doing that.
Mm.
So make sure that you are passionate about what you're doing, and that's gonna go a long way on those tired nights when you're up at 2 o'clock in the morning doing some edits.
Well, all right then. So that's how you start a podcast. And then there's
Mhm.
more from there. Can we book you for podcast consulting? Are you still taking bookings for that?
For you, I will absolutely.
Okay, but
Yeah,
I mean for the public, because I want to put your information in the description box
yeah,
here. I mean, I'll
yeah,
call you
yeah.
as well. But like but yeah, like I'm gonna ask you as well, yes, and I'll book you and I'll pay you. Now do whatever you tell me to do. Like, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's my the business, the podcast consulting business, what I call damn solutions. Of course, it's got a damn in it.
Gotta get the
So
branding.
gotta
Branding.
keep the branding. So damn solutions, yeah, we doing podcast consulting. I might be more passionate about that than I actually am about podcasting because I just love to help people tell their stories. And so yeah, you can put the information in there, I'll give it to you, and then we can disseminate it to the public.
I love it. Well, we look forward to hearing you share more stories on the It's About Damn Time podcast. Jarratt, thank you for being here. Guys, make sure you like, follow, comment, share, subscribe, do all the social media things, and we will see you next time.